What if I told you that the secret to transforming your entire life isn't working harder, setting bigger goals, or finding more willpower? What if the answer is so ridiculously small that when you hear it, you'll think I'm lying? But here's the truth. A 32-year-old man on the brink of a heart attack discovered one simple trick that changed everything, and it takes less than 10 seconds a day. This isn't about motivation. This isn't about discipline. This is about a psychological hack so powerful that once you understand it, failure becomes almost impossible. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you'll know exactly how to reprogram your brain for inevitable success. What makes certain individuals completely reshape their existence with what appears to be minimal struggle while countless others attempt repeatedly but inevitably return to their original state. Perhaps you've vowed to work out daily only to abandon it within 7 days. Perhaps you aspired to consume more books, master a new language, or rise with the dawn, yet the drive consistently vanished. Perhaps you're exhausted from establishing ambitious objectives that leave you feeling inadequate when you're unable to maintain them. If you've ever questioned why your self-control evaporates precisely when you require it most, this narrative will revolutionize everything you believed you understood about transformation. Because long ago there existed an individual who couldn't alter anything about his existence until he discovered that enormous transformation doesn't originate from enormous effort. It originates from something so minuscule, you'll doubt it functions. Remain with me until the conclusion. In a thriving metropolis where everybody appeared to be sprinting toward achievement, there resided a 32-year-old corporate employee named Daniel. Daniel was the type of individual who possessed grand aspirations but couldn't appear to manifest any of them into reality. His residence walls were adorned with vision displays and inspirational phrases. His bookcase contained numerous self-improvement volumes, most of them scarcely touched. His mobile device had 17 efficiency applications, all deserted after several days. Every 1st of January, Daniel would construct an audacious blueprint. This year, I will train for 60 minutes each day. I will consume 50 volumes. I will master Spanish. I will rise at 5 a.m. I will practice mindfulness for 30 minutes. I will consume perfectly nutritious meals. And every 15th of January, the blueprint would crumble. The fitness subscription would remain idle. The volumes would accumulate dust. The Spanish application would transmit reminder alerts that he disregarded. He'd press the delay button at 5 a.m. and awaken at 7:30. Previously tardy, previously behind, previously vanquished. His coworker Sarah would inquire, "Daniel, how's the new training regimen progressing?" He'd smile feebly and respond, "I'm pausing temporarily. I'll restart next month." But next month never arrived. The most difficult aspect wasn't the defeat. Daniel had grown accustomed to defeat. The most difficult aspect was the embarrassment. Every occasion he passed a fitness center, he experienced it. Every occasion he observed someone reading on public transport, he experienced it. Every occasion a companion inquired about his objectives, he experienced it. That burdensome, stifling sensation of being somebody who desires to transform but cannot. His mother would telephone and inquire, "Have you been maintaining yourself?" Daniel would deceive, "Yes, mother. Everything's satisfactory." But nothing was satisfactory. He experienced entrapment, immobilized, like he was observing his existence slip away while he remained frozen, incapable of executing the most basic things to enhance it. Deep into the night, Daniel would recline in bed and contemplate, "What's defective with me? Other individuals can transform. Why can't I? Perhaps I simply don't possess adequate discipline. Perhaps I'm simply feeble." He didn't comprehend that his challenge wasn't feebleness, it was methodology. One Tuesday sunrise, Daniel awakened with thoracic discomfort. Not critical, but adequate to frighten him. He visited the physician expecting to receive, "You're satisfactory. It's merely tension." But the physician's expression was grave, "Daniel, your circulation pressure is perilously elevated. Your cholesterol measurements are troubling. Your mass has escalated substantially. You're on a trajectory towards grave health complications, potentially a cardiac arrest if nothing transforms." The physician paused, gazing directly at him. You're merely 32, but your physique is deteriorating like you're 50. You must make transformations. Not eventually, presently. Daniel departed the physician's facility in a daze. He positioned himself in his automobile in the parking area as precipitation began to descend. The medical documentation rested on the passenger's seat like a mortality verdict. He contemplated all the occasions he'd vowed to transform. All the fitness subscriptions, all the nutrition blueprints, all the inspirational recordings he'd observed at 2 a.m. experiencing inspiration only to awaken. The subsequent sunrise and execute nothing. For years, he'd been informing himself, I'll transform when I'm prepared. I'll transform when I possess more duration. I'll transform when I experience motivation. But presently observing his medical documentation, he comprehended he was never going to experience prepared. He was never going to possess more duration, and motivation was never going to persist. Something within him fractured. Not the variety of fracture that destroys you, the variety that opens you. He whispered to himself in that precipitation, drenched automobile, I cannot execute this anymore. I cannot continue existing like this. I cannot continue failing identically. There must be an alternative approach. That evening, instead of searching 30-day transformation sequences or how to completely transform your existence, Daniel typed something alternative. Why do I continuously fail at transformation? And that's when he discovered a recording about an individual named Dr. James Richardson, a behavioral specialist who resided just beyond the metropolis, recognized for assisting individuals who had attempted everything and failed at everything. Before he could convince himself otherwise, Daniel transmitted an electronic message. Dr. Richardson, I failed at transforming my existence 100 occasions. Can you assist somebody like me? The subsequent sunrise, there was a response. Visit me tomorrow at 3 p.m. and transport only one thing. Your readiness to commence. Impossibly minuscule. Daniel appeared at Dr. Richardson's facility precisely at 3 p.m. The specialist was more youthful than he anticipated, perhaps in his 40s, with compassionate eyes and a tranquil presence. Daniel, Dr. Richardson stated, inform me about your objectives. Daniel commenced his customary discourse. I desire to train daily, consume nutritiously, read more, rise early, practice mindfulness, learn. Dr. Richardson elevated his hand. That's not a blueprint. That's a delusion. He advanced to the display board and sketched 2 stick figures. This individual, he stated, indicating to the first figure, determines to run 5 miles every sunrise commencing tomorrow. What transpires? Daniel understood the response. They run for 2 days, perhaps 3. Then they abandon. Precisely. Presently, this individual, indicating to the second figure, determines to don their running footwear every sunrise. Simply don them. That's it. What transpires? Daniel grimaced. That's insufficient to generate a distinction. Dr. Richardson grinned. That's what everybody contemplates, and that's why everybody fails. He extracted a diminutive plant seed from his desk compartment and positioned it in Daniel's palm. Observe this seed. If I instructed you to plant this seed and then immediately excavate it tomorrow to verify if it's developing, what would transpire? It would perish. Daniel stated, precisely. Presently, what if I instructed you to plant it, irrigate it with just 1 tablespoon of liquid every single day, and not observe it for a month? What would transpire? It would develop. Why? Daniel contemplated, because development transpires gradually, invisibly. You cannot observe it day to day, but it's transpiring. Dr. Richardson leaned forward. Daniel, your challenge isn't discipline, it's aspiration. You're attempting to plant an entire woodland. In 1 day, and when you don't observe the woodland the subsequent sunrise, you abandon. He inscribed on the display board, grand objectives, grand pressure, grand defeat. Minuscule habits, no pressure, unavoidable achievement. Here's what most individuals don't comprehend. Your mind resists grand transformations. It perceives them as dangers. But your mind doesn't resist minuscule transformations. They're too diminutive to activate resistance. Dr. Richardson opened his portable computer and displayed Daniel a simple document. This is what you're going to execute. And Understand you'll contemplate it's too diminutive to matter, but I guarantee you, if you trust the procedure, in 6 months, you won't recognize your existence. He transferred Daniel a single sheet of paper with one habit inscribed on it. After I cleanse my teeth in the sunrise, I will execute 2 push-ups. Daniel stared at it. 2 push-ups. That's it. That's it. Not 3, not 5, 2. And here's the regulation. You can execute more if you desire, but you must execute at least 2 every single day, no matter what. Daniel, achievement isn't about motivation. Motivation is like meteorological conditions. It arrives and departs. Achievement is about automation, about generating the behavior so effortless, so diminutive, so automatic that it transpires even when you don't experience like it. He indicated to the paper. 2 push-ups after cleansing your teeth. Your mind won't resist 2 push-ups. You won't negotiate with yourself. You won't require motivation. You'll simply execute it. And then something magical transpires. What? Daniel inquired. Once you're down, they're executing 2 push-ups, you'll frequently execute 10, 20. But even if you don't, even if you only execute 2, you're constructing the most significant skill of all. The skill of maintaining vows to yourself. The skill of being somebody who executes what they state they'll execute. Dr. Richardson stood up. 1 minuscule habit, Daniel. Just 1 for 30 days. Can you execute that? Daniel observed the paper. 2 push-ups. It appeared absurd. It appeared too effortless. But for the first occasion in years, he contemplated, I can actually execute this. Yes, he stated, I can execute that. The subsequent sunrise, Daniel cleansed his teeth, experiencing slightly ridiculous. Then he descended and executed 2 push-ups. It consumed 8 seconds. He laughed. This is supposed to transform my existence. But he executed it again the subsequent day. And the subsequent day 4, 2 push-ups. But then he contemplated, I'm already down here. And executed 8 more. Day 7, 2 push-ups transformed into 15. Day 10, something peculiar transpired. After his push-ups, instead of immediately preparing for occupation, Daniel experienced energized. He executed 10 jumping jacks. Then he consumed a glass of liquid. Week 3, the 2 push-ups had become automatic. But presently Daniel noticed something else. On his lunch intermission, he experienced restless. So he ambulated around the vicinity. Just 5 minutes. He didn't blueprint it. He didn't compel it. It just transpired. Week 5, Daniel comprehended he'd been naturally selecting healthier lunches. Not because he was on a nutrition plan, but because after training, his physique craved superior fuel. Week 7, he commenced awakening 10 minutes earlier, not 5 a.m. like his previous failed objectives. Just 10 minutes to possess duration for his sunrise routine without rushing. One sunrise in week 8, Daniel stood in front of his reflective surface after his push-ups, which had expanded to 30, and comprehended something that made him freeze. He wasn't attempting anymore. These behaviors weren't objectives he was compelling himself to complete. They had become automatic, natural, component of who he was. Month 4, Dr. Richardson added a second minuscule habit. After I consume lunch, I will read 1 page of a volume. 1 page, that's it. But 1 page led to 10. 10 led to a chapter. Daniel completed 3 volumes that month. Month 5, a third minuscule habit. After I appear home, I will don comfortable garments and stretch for 2 minutes. 2 minutes led to 10, led to yoga recordings, led to evening ambulations. His coworker Sarah noticed. Daniel, you appear different. Are you satisfactory? He grinned. I'm superior than satisfactory. I'm becoming somebody I didn't contemplate I could be. The subsequent physician appointment displayed the measurements. Circulation pressure down, cholesterol improving, mass dropping steadily. But the greatest transformation wasn't the measurements. It was how he perceived himself. For the first occasion in his existence, Daniel was somebody who maintained vows to himself, somebody who followed through. Somebody who transformed, not through enormous effort, through minuscule, consistent, automatic actions. My companion, Daniel's narrative isn't just about push-ups. It's about comprehending how human beings actually transform. We've been deceived. We've been informed that transformation requires enormous willpower, extreme discipline, and radical motivation. But the truth is simpler and more beautiful. Transformation transpires through minuscule habits repeated consistently over duration. Remember these 3 truths. First, your mind doesn't resist minuscule transformations. Generate the habit so diminutive it's impossible to state no. 2 push-ups, 1 page, 2 minutes. Commence laughably diminutive. Second, consistency defeats intensity. Push-ups every day for a year defeats 100 push-ups once a month. Appear diminutive, but appear every day. Third, minuscule habits create identity transformation. Every occasion you execute your minuscule habit, you cast a vote for the individual you desire to become. You prove to yourself, I am somebody who trains. I am somebody who reads. I am somebody who maintains vows. So, here's your assignment. Select one area of your existence you desire to transform. Just one. Presently, inquire yourself, what's the most minuscule possible action I could execute? Every single day? Not what you contemplate will impress others. Not what appears worthy of transformation. The smallest, most effortless, most automatic action. Desire to train? Don't commit to an hour. Commit to 2 push-ups after cleansing your teeth. Desire to read more? Don't commit to a volume a week. Commit to 1 page after lunch. Desire to practice mindfulness? Don't commit to 20 minutes. Commit to 2 conscious breaths when you awaken. I guarantee you this. If you commence impossibly diminutive, if you generate it, automatic, if you trust the procedure, in 6 months, you won't believe how much has transformed. Not through compulsion, through consistency. If this narrative transformed how you contemplate about transformation, give it approval and distribute it with somebody who's attempted to transform their existence but continues falling back. And deposit a comment presently. What's one minuscule habit you're committing to commencing tomorrow? Generate it specific. Generate it diminutive. Generate it something you absolutely cannot fail at. Let's construct it. Community of minuscule habit champions. I desire to receive yours. I'll be back subsequent week with another narrative to assist you expand. Until then, remember, you don't require to transform your entire existence tomorrow. You just require to transform one diminutive thing today and then execute it again tomorrow and observe as the impossible becomes inevitable.